Hello Seekers, welcome to Punneit's Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Few days back, I posted on my Instagram story about making a Q&A video. I was unable to go live because of the network issues, but I thought why not make a video that I will make it available both on YouTube and Instagram for you, because I got so many beautiful responses, so many interesting questions, and I was very happy that you are becoming so interested and you are asking so many beautiful questions about Vedic astrology, going so deep into this. I will not be able to take all of them because there are so many questions. I was just bombarded with the questions, but I will take most of them and I will try to give answers, and I hope that answer will fulfill your learning and your understanding about Vedic astrology. Let's continue with the subject, with the Q&A session. But before that, do not forget to hit like, subscribe and share, and hit the bell icon so that you never miss another update. Share this video among family and friends so that the views of the channel gets increased, the reach of astrology is increased. And if you want to take my consultation, you can definitely drop me an email. The email ID is in the description box below. So let's continue with the Q&A session. So the first question is by Sudeshnadhar 2193. The question is, what kind of result can we expect when a Yoga Karak planet is debilitated in Trik Bhav? Now, there are three variables in this. One, the planet is Yoga Karaka, that means it has the potential to give something positive. Then it becomes debilitated. When it becomes debilitated, it means the Yoga Karaka planet is unable to give you the necessary results. So definitely you have to work on that through remedies, through mantras, through donations, through good karma. But the third part is that it is debilitated in Trik Bhava. Trik Bhava means either in the 6th house or in the 8th house or in the 12th house. So when this kind of position comes in front of an astrologer, it becomes very tricky, because first of all, the planet is supposed to give you good results, but because of the power of the debilitation, I will say the power of debilitation, because it is in the Trik Bhav, the effect increases. So what happens? The planet becomes restricted. Then you have to see a couple of more factors. First, you have to see where is the dispositor of that planet. Is that planet under any kind of negative influence? Because if the planet falls furthermore by the aspect, and furthermore negative influence falls on that planet, then that planet will no longer be a Yoga Karaka. The planet will, no matter how hard you try with properties related to that planet, you will always find out difficult scenario, and you will always fall short of the goal, fall short of the milestone, and that can be frustrating. Also, you have to see the position of the same planet in the Navamsha. If the planet is strong in the Navamsha, then definitely the initial days of that planet will be difficult, but slowly that planet will pick up the power. So there is some hope. But if that planet furthermore falls down in Navamsha, it falls in the Trik Bhav in Navamsha, then the only way to address that planet is to follow the rule of the planet in that house. So for example, if that planet is, say, Venus is debilitated in the 8th house. When Venus is debilitated in the 8th house, that means it is in the Virgo sign, and Venus is also with, say, Rahu or Ketu or Saturn in the Navamsha, and that too in the Trik Bhav, then you will have to help females all around you. You will have to serve them. You will have to do good for them purposefully. You have to take an active role, active participation. So in this way, you have to activate, and this way you have to interpret. The second question is by tarot card reader. I'm sorry, the name is not coming in the full. The question is that I want to relate tarot card reading and astrology. Any tip on that, or is that even possible? Tarot card uses tarot and symbolism as a medium to do predictions. In that kind of reading, the reader and the energy of the reader is very important, and reader becomes the vessel, and the answer comes from the universe. And the reader tries to be a medium of interpretation and uses tarot card, reads the symbolism through the power of intuition and through the power of clairvoyance, he or she will try to interpret on the questions that has been asked. The same thing is applied in Vedic astrology, but it is more data oriented, it is more technical in nature. The intuition plays a certain role, but I can definitely see what is happening, right? And all I need to do is read. And the concept is called Prashna Kundli. So if you are a tarot card reader, what you can definitely do is that you should open the tarot card. We are doing the prediction, but side by side you can also open the Prashna chart. And if you know how to read a Prashna chart, if you know the Prashna Marg, if you know how to read the omens that is happening, the small details that is happening at the time of consultation, when you combine both of them, ultimately it becomes the same. Why? Because if a reader is asking you through a tarot card, that means his horoscope is giving him an opportunity to get an answer. That answer can come through astrology, through tarot card reading, or he may just go and ask a friend for a suggestion. If the answer has to come, the answer will choose a medium. Tarot card, because it's an easy mode compared to an astrology, because astrology is completely data oriented. Tarot card is more through practice, through devotion, through dedication to the subject, and it is reader dependent. In case of astrology, Prashna Kundli, it's more about how you read the horoscope, how you interpret the data. In the tarot card, you have to get connected with the energy. So it's more about energy healing. It's not just reading, but it's also healing on one hand. So if you want to combine both of them, the tarot card reading and the Prashna Kundli, both can be done, and you will be surprised because I have done that. I was a tarot card reader, but I know how to read tarot card, but I never took it professionally. The thing is, when you combine them, the results will astonish you and it will just blow your minds because both the analysis will be same. The next question is by Insta Pekma. For Gemini ascendant, won't Jupiter in Cancer not bring good results because of Marakatva? So basically it is said that second house is known as Marak Bhav. So for Gemini ascendant, if you see Jupiter in Cancer, that means Jupiter gets exalted in the second house. Will it give good results or not? So first of all, you have to understand that Jupiter is not going to kill anybody because Jupiter is Jiva Karaka. Then if you are a Gemini ascendant, then your 7th and the 10th house are basically controlled by Jupiter. So the half of your Kendra energy, 50% of the horoscope material strength is with Jupiter. If that gets exalted in the second house before being a Marak house is gain of your own ascendant, and it is a Kutumbha Bhav, the house of family. It only comes under the case of Marakatva if there are extreme amount of malefic events or malefic influence that is happening in the second house. And if that Jupiter is under extreme malefic influence, that aspects the 8th house. But still, if Jupiter is in Pushya Nakshatra, then that effect also gets cancelled because the drishti of Jupiter is always said to be positive. This is an exalted Jupiter watching the 8th house. This cannot be Marak in this case. There is a very typical case, very specific case, but that is you can say it's an example or it's an exceptional case, but that can only be observed through personal consultation. But on general, no, it cannot be Marakatva just on a general sense. The next question is by Amrit, Amrit. What do you do on the day your Mahadasha changes? You said that your mind will change from Saturn to Mercury. See, just like the degrees and the houses in the sky, there is no definite line in the sky. It's a understanding. For example, if you talk about latitude and longitude, do they really exist or it's an understanding? So these 30 degrees, planets, these are mathematical interpretation and it's a mathematical model. But there is no definite line in the sky that will demarcate between Gemini and say Cancer zodiac sign. In the same way, there is no demarcation or a very strict, you can say, switch happening between the Mahadashas. The energy of Mahadasha are always gradual. So if you are going out from Saturn Mahadasha to Mercury Mahadasha, the day when the Mahadasha change cannot be exactly the day when everything energy is changing. If Mercury has to come, the effect of Mercury Mahadasha or the flavors of the Mahadasha will be you will start seeing in the Saturn and Saturn Mahadasha itself, because that's how the change happens. It cannot just happen on that day. If any energy change is happening on that day, it is mostly to do with some very big transit happening or some part of your horoscope getting triggered because of that. But if you follow different softwares, you will see that the day of Mahadasha will change. So I would suggest you not to go strictly by the day, but go by the month, and always take plus 1 or 2 months as a buffer period, because that is always a fusion. Just like if you see that when one part of the say a river flows into the ocean, the junction cannot be defined. It's a fusion, it's a mixture. In the same way, when the two Mahadasha combines and you switch from one Mahadasha to the other Mahadasha, the edge, the point cannot be a date. It has to be months, and the flavor will always be mixed in that time frame. Next question is from Komal Maru. Is there some logic in astrology which says people born on full moon suffer more? No, it can't be. It doesn't have to do with full moon. Full moon is in fact a good day. It's a Purnima. That means moon gets full light from the sun. But if the sun and moon gets afflicted by Rahu and Ketu, if it gets afflicted by Saturn, if moon is debilitated, if there is extreme amount of negative influence in the Navamsha, if you are also in the moon Mahadasha, then for a certain period of time you can say, or for a certain Mahadasha you can say that Mahadasha may be difficult. But it has nothing to do with full moon, because full moon itself is a very positive time as per the Tithi. So that's to understand this, you actually have to go and break down the horoscope at various levels and see what is happening in the horoscope. The next question is by Nikki. When does your past life karma stop hitting you? Or is it a never-ending abuse in one birth? The day the past life karma will stop hitting you, you attain your moksha. So for me, for you, for anybody else, it's a complete cycle, it's a renewal cycle. The past life karma defines the present life. The present life faces the impacts of the past life. The past life mixes with the present life and decides our future lives. So in this way, the cycle continues and it's a never-ending process. Our duty is to get rid of the prarabdha karma through proper puja, devotion, dedication to God, and complete surrender to the divine. If you are facing any problem from the past life, you should pray to Lord Ganesha by chanting Om Gam Ganapate Nama and by complete surrender at his feet. The question is by Luis Bueno. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. When you move abroad, do you get astrological influence of the new place? Absolutely. Every place, when you observe the sky will be different. That means the inclination of planet, the angle, the way with which you look, the ascendant position, the sun position, the angle, everything changes as per the position, the location, and that is why an astrologer always asks you for a place of birth, so that to find out how was the observable sky at your location at the time of your birth. So for example, right now if you're in Mumbai and you look at the sky, and if you're in New York you look at the sky, you will see two different pictures. That means at this point of time, the way the planet is interacting with a person in Mumbai and a person in New York is slightly different, but that difference is very subtle. The next question is by Spriti Kaul. Does Mahadasha and Antardasha of planet work during Sadasati? Absolutely. Sadasati is a position where Saturn is behind, on or ahead of the moon, but Mahadasha and Sadasati is a totally different concept. Mahadasha is the concept where you determine the event and the timing of event, when a particular event is going to happen. Whereas Sadasati is a transit event that happens with everybody, and it's more global, because for example right now the zodiac sign of Capricorn, the zodiac sign of Sagittarius and Aquarius are under Sadasati. That means always at any point in the given time, 3 zodiacs out of 12 will be under the influence of Sadasati. So that does not mean that your Mahadasha will stop, because that is a different thing and Sadasati is a different thing. Next question is by S. Darshan. When Mercury, which is retrograde, is in Aries, how will it affect, or what effect in general it creates. So when Mercury is in Aries and it is retrograde, you have to be very careful about what communication you are making. And Aries is a fire sign and it's controlled by Mars. So energy will be always overwhelming your Mercury. That means your nervous system may not be able to take the load of the energy. Either the energy will be too less or the energy will be too much. And this also means that procrastination can come into your thoughts and you may think a lot, plan a lot, but nothing gets really executed in this. Just by the placement of Mercury, nothing much can be told. You have to see in which house, what nakshatra, overall what is the position of the planet. But if you are in Mercury Mahadasha and Mercury Antardasha and Mercury is in Aries, you should be very careful about venting out your anger, committing anything, because you will commit a lot, but because it's retrograde, you will always fall short. So don't make promises that you can't fulfill. So guys, that was the Q&A session, the first Q&A session, taking few questions. I will try to cover up the rest of the questions in the next Q&A session. If you like this kind of session, let me know. But before that, do not forget to like, subscribe and share and hit the bell icon. Sharing is important because the views will increase, the reach of astrology will increase, and that will help me reach you in a much greater way. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching Punneit's Astrology. Have a great day.